Hello, this is Mega881000 again with another review of another official figure by MegaHouse. As you can see, it is about Precious G.E.M UlforceVDramon. But before I start a review of the figure here, I have some official character bio about him for you, which I think could be very interesting. Yeah, and I will also just read this from my text here. I hope you will excuse me this. And like I said, there was this unboxing before of UlforceVDramon, and now this is the main review video about him. Forgot to mention this. And for those who maybe not seen the unboxing or missed it, I also have linked this video part in the description down below. Yeah, okay. Some interesting character bio now. UlforceVDramon, a holy knight Digimon based on a legend that only appears within a certain prophecy, handed down from the ancient digital world. In that prophecy is written the appearance of the royal knights, the guardian deities of the network. And based on that prophecy, it is said that the Digimon that are called the royal knights will assemble at the time of the digital world's greatest crisis. UlforceVDramon is of course a member of the royal knights and possesses the swiftest speed among the royal knights, and there is no one that can follow his movements. Also, his body is wrapped in a holy armor made of the lightest weight rare metal, the so-called blue Digizoid or Digizoid Zoid, which is rare even among chrome Digizoid, so he can split the earth and the sky. It can extend weapons and shield, and a shield from the V-bracelets equipped to both of his arms. UlforceVDramon's special move is a beam which strafes across from the V-shaped armor on his chest, the shining V-Force. Let's get to the figure. In 2018, MegaHouse did this survey where fans could vote which other characters they would like to see in the MegaHouse G.E.M Digimon series as another figure. I told you about it in one of my videos before, if you can remember. Yes, and according to the official description text on the official MegaHouse website, UlforceVDramon was the proud second place in the survey. Under the careful eyes of designer Kenji Watanabe and manga artist Tenya Yabuno, the popular Digimon has been transformed into a figure. The figure stands circa 370 millimeters in height and is posed with his victory sword at the ready. The organic appearance of his wings and the contrasting metallic body have all been carefully sculpted and painted to bring out the various textures in amazing detail. The figure also comes with a shikishi illustration by Tenya Yabuno to display it with the figure. Well, so we have this also clarified that with the image here. So the illustration is not by Kenji but by Tenya Yabuno. So this is also the correction right away, because I think that I suspected in the unboxing video and therefore also mentioned it there, that the illustration could be drawn by Kenji, but it wasn't. Precious G.E.M UlforceVDramon was released by MegaHouse in June 2020 in Japan. As the box shows, they released UlforceVDramon under the Digimon Savers logo, so to speak. His appearance in the 5th season was honored. But that you can't see because this box is so huge again. And so I will show you this quick. Here you have this Digimon Savers logo. So I would have shown you this. So by the way, Precious G.E.M Omegamon was the first place in the survey and was released in September 2019. Just by the way, on Omegamon I passed as well. I passed on Bilzemon or Bilzebumon on Behemoth because of several reasons, also price-wise. There is actually nothing more to add to the things which mentioned in this official text about the details and the implementation of the figure, and you can simply fully agree them. And that's why I won't tell you so much about it here ahead and use the time to show you all the details they mentioned right on the figure. Here and will focus on showing the figure to you as good as it is possible here. Also, I hope I can do some nice close-ups, and I would like to try to explain some things just free from my mind by just showing the figure. I hope I can do it. Yeah. I only made a few notes here, and I think the first thing to do is to put away this huge box to get a better focus on the figure. Put this thing out of the way here. Put this illustration here right away, that you can see it. So now we have a nice focus on the figure. Closer focus on the figure. Yeah. My first note is about the chosen pose implementation of the figure. Yeah, and there's actually nothing much to say about it, but it is really perfect. Or what you think? They implemented the character design of UlforceVDramon in a perfect and awesome, stunning way, I think. The chosen pose definitely nails it for this character design, I think. And yeah, the pose which they came up for UlforceVDramon is also a bit similar with the Omegamon, with the Precious G.E.M Omegamon. Also with this energy effect down there on the base. It's a bit similar to Omegamon. And they did a good job. They implemented the figure in a very cool pose, I think. And also this energy effect adds some more unique design for UlforceVDramon's implementation, I think. This looks very, 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 very awesome. Implemented everything on him. It's a bit difficult to get a full view because the sword is very long. Yeah. Also can show you this in a more close-up, of course, to witness all those details and honor them. Also, how I said, this energy effect looks very, very good. Is also multicolored, and with this transparent or translucent look, it definitely adds some more unique feature to the base than it would be the normal translucent blue plastic bases as we know it from the others. You know what I mean? I think you know what I mean. With that, they also add again some engravings in the base. Some symbols they engraved. I hope I can show you those a bit. Those lightning shaped engravings in the base, which also should be represent those lightning shaped symbols on the armor, the elbow armor, and also should represent those symbols which he has on his legs or his thighs here. This silver symbols here. Oh, and he lost one wing, and that's what is a thing that I wouldn't mention now, but because it happened, I have to mention it now a bit more, because this is a bit of a downside of the figure, because one wing is a bit more loose and falls off if you take the figure too much in the hands for such reviews, or if you carrying him to different places. You should be careful. It's an advice, be careful, that can happen. But it's actually meant to be a more display figure which you put in the shelf and let it stay there, and I think for this it's okay. Therefore is the fit tight enough, still tight enough for the wings, but be careful if you take him in the hands. Yeah, this is what I actually wanted to mention later, but now I have to mention it. Yeah, because it happened. And yeah, also we have this V-shaped symbol here on the base, which also represents his V-shaped armor part on his chest. I think that should be that thing. We also have the name on the base, UlforceVDramon, as you can see. Yeah. And the next point is size. The official size specified by MegaHouse is 370 millimeters, which would be about 14.5 inches. I measured him myself too. The size measured from the bottom to the tips of his horns is something about 11.4 inches, which would be about 29 centimeters. The same measured from the bottom to the top of his victory sword are those circa 37 centimeters, or those 370 millimeters, or also those 14.5 inches. The wingspan measured from each of the wings widest spreadest section, circa the widest spreadest section, is maybe something about a bit over 9 till 9.4 inches, which would be about 23 till 24 centimeters. Without a base, including the energy effect on the base, the figure itself would be a bit smaller. Of course, this is logical, I think, isn't it? Yeah, and I think, and like described in the text, it is very, very good designed and very true to the character design of UlforceVDramon. All details are there. They missed out nothing. I found nothing on him which they missed out. How I said, all details are there, colored in a wonderful or with wonderful and matching color and color tones. I already mentioned this about those blue armor parts, the blue color of those parts in the unboxing video. I already said this is a beautiful blue metallic color, very, very nice. I like it very, very much. I love it. I love the coloring on the whole of the figure. Of course, the overall image of the figure just delivers a very, very, very nice representation of this character of UlforceVDramon, or his original character design. Yeah, like we know it from the other G.E.M series, Precious G.E.M figures. He's perfect all around, I think. That's what you can say about him. Also, how I said, the color tones and this metallic blue and all the other colors, there's no doubt that this looks good. I think that there's no doubt. Yeah. And my next point is also the texture of colors and color tones of the various details, because if we have a closer look on those several or different body sections, armor parts and body parts, they done a very, very stunning job on him to can distinguish what is real skin or should be interpreted as real skin parts or sections and what is armor. And this I want to show you even a bit better on the figure, because we have it here. Yeah, and you also can say that all those parts or sections which have more this matte color scheme should be interpreted as his real skin, excluding his clothes, where the fingers coming out then. Yeah, this is truly some clothing for the hand. This is the one thing that has this matte color and isn't real skin, but the other parts and sections which have this matte color texture or color scheme, like the upper leg sections with this matte blue and those white matte sections for his stomach section and the arm section, which are, you can see here, and of course the neck, I think, is meant to be real skin. And what's also interesting is what you can see on the head, because there we have also some different color textures. I hope I can show you this now. Yeah, yet it works. And as you can see, while the helmet in the more bacular region here or section has this metallic, blue metallic color, the side sections, upper side sections of his head on each side have more this matte blue color scheme, and there you can interpret that this is meant to be also real skin, and only this shiny metallic texture for the helmet is armor. Also the helmet goes only through the middle of the head, and how I said, the outer sections of the head is, you can interpret as real skin. I think this is really, they made a very nice job on him to implement those things with the right colors to be able to distinguish perfectly which is meant real skin and what is armor parts, how I said. And this also belongs to the wings. The wings looking also very nicely implemented, has also more this organic texture to it, like they described it in the text, and also looks like they kinda looking like they have added some texture to implement some dragon scales. I think that looks awesome. Also on the insides, the red has this matte color texture, and you also can see those dragon scales, but I think on the back side you can see it even better, what I mean. And I think this dragon scale design matches very well such a dragon-like creature like he should represent. I think it's very awesome implemented. And when we having a look down there at those lower leg sections, we also have some more lighter section for the shin or the lower leg section, which looks also like that is more like a thinner clothing, because it has also this rough texture to it, like the scales on the wings. But how I said, this looks more like it is more a metallic, there's more metallic look to it, and that looks also that this is more of an armor or at least some clothing for the lower leg sections. And also those details on the lower leg sections have a different color, has more this iron-like silver color for the boot leg. Yeah, and I forgot to mention the fingers. The fingers are also real skin and look at how they implemented the hands and the claws. That looks awesome. Very, very nice. Such a nice implementation. And those clothing for the hands looks a bit more like what I mean, looks like, in quote marks, like a bit like cycling clothes. Yeah, that's how I said the only section which should be clothed, which have this matte color design. The other matte colored sections are real skin, excluding those clothes. How I said several times before, I think. So it looks very, very nice. Everything is detailed on him and has the matching colors, every detail. Also the details are very, very sharp edged and sharp proportioned, like we know it from the other G.E.M figures or of those high-end collector figures that use like it was before on them. I also can show you the horn tips are very pointy. Those tips of the V-shaped armor part on his chest is very pointy, or are very pointy. The sword tip of the blade is very pointy, and also the fingernails or hand claws are also a bit pointy. Yeah, also those effect parts are very pointy. Yeah, as you can see, also those details are very pointy. Those armor details here on his, yeah, you know, on his armor is also very pointy, or are very pointy. And yeah, all those colors are so nice to look at. Also those other little details are picked out in another blue metallic color, like also on the bracelets here. Very nice metallic turquoise, I think. Also those wires or thingies here on his neck are have this picked out in this more metallic turquoise color. Also the eyes are very, very nice, detailed colored. The visor is again this more silvery, picked out in this more silvery look, metallic silver, because this is all again armor parts or armor part. Also those bracelets are very nice implemented, also color wise. It's very nice. It's a very awesome and stunning representation of UlforceVDramon, how I said several times before. You can't say it often enough, I think. So, how I said, perfect proportions for all details. And yeah, what I also have to say is about his kinda side skirt armor here. Wait and see. Here up there we have those incisions, which making those side skirt pieces a bit more, that it would be made more from a more flexible material, some bendable material, and not from so hard and stiff armor. I know it has those nice blue metallic color on it, but I think you can imagine them as a more flexible side skirt parts, like it would be made of leather material or something like that. Because of those incisions, this makes them look more flexible, and maybe has some also just a thin layer of this blue Digizoid metal on it. Because there must be a reason why they represented this and molded this so flexible looking. Yeah. Would we have this? All details are painted? Yes, I think all details are painted. I think I can be short about this because I found no details which are missing paint or have the wrong color or something like this. Also, the cleanness of the paint job is, as we know this from those bigger G.E.M series figures or from those Precious G.E.M figures from MegaHouse, it is very, very clean. I found no painted over sections where they painted over, where they done a sloppy paint job. No, that looks all around very satisfying. Also paint job wise, also in our point of views, how I said. And with that, I think we're coming to the price performance ratio. Yeah, that's a thing. That's a thing we have to talk about. I personally bought it again from the Nippon Yasan shop, directly from Japan, because they still have the best prices for those kind of figures. There's no site which gives you our better prices, and so I got it for about $248 US plus shipping, which would be about a bit over 200 euro. And yeah, that's a point we have to talk about, because it is a very high price still, but look at other prices, to which prices they offer these figures in our shops, and you will see the difference, I think. And the point is also that MegaHouse increased their prices, that are getting more expensive. The first ones were, especially in this Precious, since they named the line Precious G.E.M, they changed the prices, they got this increase in the prices. And the first was End-Evo-Form, I think, the Holy Arrow version, which has had a normal price, if I remember. They only, at Nippon Yasan, don't get me wrong, at Nippon Yasan it was under, I think, 130 US dollars or euro, I can't remember. I also have to show you that figure still, but this thing came damaged to me, so I still found no way to repair it. I will repair it in the future, and then I will show you it, but for the moment I can't show you it. And yeah, how I said, the price is a point. If you want the figure, you have to pay the high prices now, the higher prices. I mean, the G.E.M figures also had no low prices before. The prices were still high before, but they increased them, the more. MegaHouse want more money from us. Easy to speak, or so to speak. That's the point. That's the point you have to consider on your own if you still are okay with it. I think it is still justified. The price performance is still justified if you can get it, especially for those prices which they offered at Nippon Yasan. And yeah, otherwise you have to decide if you are okay with it or not. That's your decision. But in this case, I got it to this price. I really can give you a fully buy recommendation, because the implementation and the representation of the character design is simply stunning and perfect. Also in all these different textures of the colors for all those details. I mean, I don't know how MegaHouse justifies this increasing in the prices, since they released this. These were the first ones which have those insane high prices, which were Precious G.E.M, Wargreymon and MegaHouse. They had the first insane prices, and Omegamon even was then more price intensive, I would say. But I also read this was the largest figure they ever made under the Digimon franchise. So yeah, you can imagine how high this price was. Yeah, it's a problem. How I said, I can't understand why MegaHouse did this price increase. They just will have their reasons why they had to make it, but also I think it is still a bit justified, because the quality, the overall quality of the figures not got less. It is still the good and very good quality they had before. Even I think they put on more quality with those effect parts. They added some more features, some unique features for some of those figures. I think this still is justified. I can't say that the figures got more or less quality and the prices got high. That's not the point. So I also will end this about this topic. I told you much about it now. Yeah, and another thing we have to speak about is the sword blade. The sword blade you can detach, of course. This is also the only way to display the figure a bit differently, if you like it without his victory sword more. It's another display option. You have no option to put this sword blade on the other hand, because there is no connection port. You only can give him the sword in his right hand, how I said, also in the unboxing. But the sword in implementation I think is also very good. Looks like it glows a bit more, yeah, bluish on the outside of the blade, and through the middle there is more of this colorless glowing effect, white colorless. I think that's nice, and I think it would be also easy to do another blade. That's a bit a thing of a downside, a bit nitpicky. can do another sword blade for his other hand and create another connection port for his other arm or hand, to have them displayed, to have some more display options with 2 swords or only with 1 sword. You could change the pose a bit. And in the German video I also made some mistake by reattaching this thing, because you only can detach it in one way, because there is still a bit special formed. As you can see, this little outer section is a bit lower. Maybe you can see it. Yeah, I think you can see it. And therefore is also the port only shaped this way, so you can only put it in this one special position, so you not make any mistakes if you reattaching the plate. Yeah. Okay, would we have this? I also want to show you the box a bit, but I think this will be getting a bit difficult because the box is huge. But I managed it in the German video, so I will manage it here again to show you the box, because I want to show you the box a bit quick. It worked actually very good, that showing. So we would have the title image of the box. Again, here up there is the Savers logo, Precious G.E.M, UlforceVDramon. Here we have the Precious G.E.M logo, which they renewed from this before black and pink colored logo, and it was called G.E.M series. So I'm not sure if you can still call them now also Precious G.E.M series, because it is not any longer written in this newer logo. Here we have the MegaHouse logo, and here we have the lid, again with the Savers logo, some product shots. This would be one side of the box. Again, Precious G.E.M Digimon Savers UlforceVDramon. This would be the back side with your obligatory product shots as always, and again the Savers logo. So this thing they made 2 Savers, but honestly I even can't remember his appearance and in Savers, the other side. And of course the not so spectacular button side here with your obligatory figure silhouette printed on, and again in white Digimon Savers UlforceVDramon. And that should be about the box. Let us do some comparisons now, I think, at the end now. So, and the first one of the Precious G.E.M series was, how I said, MegaHouse, which I only can show you for the Precious G.E.M series. now not serious, Precious G.E.M MegaHouse figures to see how they are looking together. Also the size is immense of MegaHouse against UlforceVDramon is again a bit of a normal sized figure, has a normal size, and those huge, I mean the Wargreymon was the same huge as MegaHouse, and I also will bring in G.E.M series Greymon. Just to show you how they are looking together. As you can see, this was one of the biggest G.E.M series figures before, but the Wargreymon would have the same size, circa. Just to show you, Greymon and Taichi, and I have a third one provided here because I can't show you all of them, and this would be, as you can see, Precious G.E.M series Digimon Crimson mode, which came under the, not under the Precious G.E.M series, it came under the name of G.E.M series only. Yeah, for some reason they changed it in yeah, for the future figures, and it's maybe the only reason why they did the price increasing, because since they were called Precious G.E.M series, or they call them Precious G.E.M series, there was this price increasing thing going on. That's very funny. Yeah, so we would have that. And the most matching best compare maybe would be those little cuties here, which are also from MegaHouse. Digimon, Chibimon and Vmon, because it is part of his evolution line. And yeah, just to show you how they are looking together. They are from this set, from those data sets, you know, from the third set, and they were the first MegaHouse figures. You know, the first two sets were the full Adventure 01 sets with the rookies and the babies. So we would have that compare done. Yeah, and I think we're coming to an end. Also want to show you him a bit in a close-up again, to honor all of those nice details on him. Again, a bit quick. Also the base. How I said, here we have his name, and here also again MegaHouse 2020 made in China, printed on the base. I forgot to show you those little lightning details he has on each of his thighs. This one also you can see lesser than this other one. It just sticks out a bit here, but it is there. They took everything of details in account for this figure, and it is truly a nice and stunning and awesome figure of UlforceVDramon. How I said before, It was also one of the most anticipated characters to become or to get a figure, also for the Bandai Tamashii Nations SH Figure Arts line. He was always high in the polls for those pose-able collector action figures, and now they fulfilled our wish to give us UlforceVDramon in an impressive form. I also know there is an unofficial resin figure of UlforceVDramon existing, which kinda seems a bit more pose-able, but it is also very expensive, which is also a non-Bandai product, but from a Chinese design studio. And I also think that this one here looks better, in my opinion. Everything got wonderfully molded and modeled in a wonderful way. He exudes a lot of strength and grandeur. I think how he rises majestically from this energy effect is just stunning, with his extended energy blade or his victory sword. Just a perfect representation. I think this is a great representation for such a kind of figure, I think, or statue. And it is by no means boring. Looks very natural, especially how they depict the wings. Really looks like they are floating through and by the air. I think that's a very, very nice implementation. And yeah, again, it looks just wonderful. Those blue colored armor pieces, very, very nice. They captured perfectly the original character design of UlforceVDramon and to made it into this figure. That's awesome. I can't say it often enough because it's the truth. Yeah. And by showing you him again in a close-up, I also want to thank you for attention right ahead. And also the hands, how they implemented those hands and the claws, isn't it just stunning? Yeah, but I want to, how I said, I want to, yeah, saying goodbye to you and bring this review to an end. How I said, this was my review about Precious G.E.M, UlforceVDramon by MegaHouse. The next video will be about, I think, the unboxing of G.E.M, Precious G.E.M Metal Greymon. Firstly, there will be the unboxing, and secondly follows then the main figure review, like I did here. And yeah, this was my review about Precious G.E.M UlforceVDramon by MegaHouse. I hope you liked it a bit. I hope you enjoyed the whole journey here. And yeah, saying bye, take care, until the next video. With these words, saying goodbye, and yeah, your Mega 88 1000.